Africans.
I'm a fairly recently retired professor, and I'm professorial enough to draw on this convenient whiteboard here. That is 6 million years ago, and that is...
Thank you for watching. As always, this is Afro Revolt, a channel that tries to bring to you whatever is trending across the globe. Now, I came across this video of Richard Dawkins when he was trying to prove that all races or all human races are Africans, and Africa is the cradle for humankind. Now, he has proven that everyone comes from one common ancestor, regardless of the skin color. For a long time, there's been a fight whether the whites and the blacks came from one common ancestor, and this is proven in this video. So let's watch and make a comment to it in the end.
What you have on right now says that we are all Africans. Now, now that's easy for you to say. You were born in Kenya. So for those of us not born in Kenya, could you please explain why we are all Africans?
I'm a fairly recently retired professor, and I'm professorial enough to draw on this convenient whiteboard here. That is 6 million years ago, and that is the common ancestor of chimpanzees and bonobos and humans. That is about 7 million years ago, and that is the common ancestor of all those and gorillas. That's about 12 million years ago, and that's the common ancestor of all those and orangutans. Orangutans, as you know, are Asian apes. Gorillas, humans, bonobos, and chimpanzees are African apes. Darwin conjectured, long before there were any available fossils, that the right place to look for human fossils was Africa, and he worked that out by pointing out that humans most resemble the other African apes, namely chimpanzees, well, they didn't call them bonobos in those days, and gorillas. The reason that we know approximately the date of the common ancestor is molecular evidence comparing the genes, comparing the proteins of these various animals. It's possible to calibrate the date at which a common ancestor happened, and we can date the common ancestor of humans and chimpanzees and bonobos at about 6 million years ago. Unfortunately, there are no fossils down this line here, possibly because they're forest-dwelling animals. Nowadays, unlike in Darwin's time, there are quite a lot of fossils down this line here, and they're all in Africa. We've got the genus Australopithecus, sort of about halfway down, Ardipithecus there, and Homo habilis there, Homo erectus about there, and then Homo sapiens, archaic Homo sapiens there, and then modern Homo sapiens there. Lots and lots of little branches, quite well documented in the fossil record here, all extinct except the last one, Homo sapiens. You may have heard the phrase out of Africa. There were two out of Africas. Homo erectus, about a little over 1.5 million years ago, left Africa and colonized Asia and Europe, and arguably Indonesia as well. No, not arguably, definitely Indonesia. That's the first out of Africa. The second out of Africa is very recent, probably less than 100,000 years ago. If you look molecularly, if you look at the molecules of modern human races, they are astonishingly uniform, and such variation as there is mostly within Africa. So that suggests that the deepest divides of cousinship in our species are within Africa. the whole of the rest of the world is a very, very recent branch off the human species. If you look at the amount of variation in the human species genetically, it's extremely low. We are a very, very uniform species compared to other species, even chimpanzees. It's been said that if you take two chimpanzees from the same forest in Africa, they're likely to be more different from each other genetically than any two humans in the world. It's a bit surprising when you consider that we, to our eyes, at least look more different. But the genetics is very clear that we are an astonishingly uniform species. We are all one species, one very uniform species, and we originate very recently in Africa. We are all Africans.
Thank you.
As I always say it, the fire is burning. The fire is burning with just one simple reason, and that is the reason for ending racism and racial segregation. Why must we end racial segregation? This is because we are one race. We are one people. We came from a common ancestor. As Dawkins puts it, we are all same species, that is Homo sapien sapien. He has even given a proof for that. Coming million years ago, almost 60 or 6 million years ago, where the common ancestor brought about the human race, and there was no African, there was no white, there was no black. Everyone was equal, and these fossils that were gotten in Africa have proven that all races or every human being came from this kind of tree, as he drew it on his board. So it begs a common question of equality. We have to live in this world taking keen interest of things that will put us together, because we are the same. We came from same father, we came from same ancestor, and we are all Africans. We are all Africans because that is where our forefather, or the man who brought us here, first originated. He first settled in Africa, and that is where we all have a root. Everyone is an African, even the West. The Western influence we have had in Africa, where they treat Africans as lesser human beings, should come back to their senses and know that we are all equal. They are our brothers. You came from this side of the region. You came from Africa and went and settled in those your countries. Even though you are first world countries who have developed, it is time to pull up your brothers, that is the Africans, to also match you in the terms of development. This is not a time where you have to colonize Africa through the cronies, that is the leaders that have always taken keen interest in serving you as their masters. It is not time to show that you are the masters of Africans, because we are all the same. We came from same origin. We originated from a common background, that is Africa, and Africa should be your business. Africa should be treated as home. Africa should be seen as where humans or human race came from, and a place to be reckoned and built towards ensuring that the living standards of the blacks or every race is heightened and placed in a situation it should be. Now, I want you to comment on this video. Hit our comment section and tell us what you think about it. Is it true that everyone is an African? And tell us how true is it. Now, also do not forget to subscribe to our channel, like and share. Thank you, and may God bless you as always.